Hello and welcome to today's story time. Today we're going to be looking at the theme and the idea of home as we read The Trip Back Home by Janet S. Wong and illustrated by Bo Gia. As I read through this story, I want you to think about the similarities and the differences between the home described here in this text and your homes. And when we're done reading, we'll talk about some of the things that you see that are similar and some of the things that you see that are different. The Trip Back Home. The week we went on the trip back home to visit the village where Mother grew up, we shopped for gifts for our family, things we thought they would need. And in this scene, they're visiting a bookstore, picking out books. Then, in our brand new traveling clothes, we flew a day and a night and a day, wiping our faces awake with hot towels when we arrived in Korea. So here we find out they're traveling home to the Mother's village in Korea. And then they took 2 whole days traveling. That would be a hard trip. We gave my grandfather, my harboji, a pair of leather work gloves, tough and tanned like his thick-skinned farmer's hands. We gave my grandmother, my halmani, an apron ruffled at the edge with 2 large pockets in the shape of flowers. We gave my aunt, my Imo, a picture book with simple words to teach her English. They gave us hugs, and there's the whole families together. Every morning before the birds began to sing, Harbaji woke me up so I could watch him push a fresh block of charcoal into a tunnel near the house. The charcoal sat smoldering on stones, warming the air underneath the floor, while Mother slept late those cold autumn mornings. And always, every morning, Harbaji let me wear his new leather gloves, good for grabbing the charcoal he made from stumps of trees. Every day before shopping with Halmani, I fed the hungry pigs scraps of carrot and onion and egg I rolled with rice. I threw the sticky balls as hard, as fast, and as far as I could so the running pigs would not knock me down. A lot of chores they do in the mornings. And then Halmani and I walked up the rough dirt road to the outdoor market. We searched through rows of tiny stalls filled with clouds of rice cakes and rivers of small soup fish and hills of hot chili peppers, searching for something crispy, fresh, and cheap enough for 5. Back at the house, Halmani made a fire in the stove with pine branches I gathered. Into a heavy iron pot, she measured the rice with a silver bowl, and I washed the rice while she floated black sheets of seaweed back and forth over an open flame until the black turned to green. Mother pulled spicy kimchi cabbage from a cool clay jar and set soup on the stove to simmer. Imo mixed the mung bean sprouts with sesame oil and sesame seeds and garlic she had smashed with a stone. And here they are preparing dinner. After we ate, Halmani and Mother and Imo and I would sit in the afternoon sun, sewing warm clothes for winter, while Harbaji crouched on the roof, sandwiching persimmons in straw where they would be stored all autumn. And always, every day, Halmani let me wear her new ruffled apron, good for holding spools of thread, and even better for hiding persimmons. Every evening, before we unfolded our soft cotton beds, we sat in a circle on the smooth, warm chain pan, the oiled paper floor. Sometimes we listened to Harbaji's stories, with Mother laughing hard, clutching her sides, and me laughing hard too to see her happy. Sometimes we played Hado, a game of cards with pictures of flowers and deer and hills and the moon. Mother would slap the cards down, shouting when she won. And always, every evening, Imo would find some quiet, and we would sit close, reading her book together until we went to sleep. She is with her aunt, teaching her English. This was how they passed the time with us, and this was how we passed the time with them. Beautiful countryside. Until the day came to make our trip back home, and Harbaji gave us a charcoal drawing of the hills behind the house, and Halmani gave us dried persimmons strung together in a necklace, and Imo gave us a poem in Korean, folded small. Picture the persimmons and the poem. And we gave them hugs. Beautiful story about going back home and then going back home again. We'll take a minute now to talk about some of your homes and the similarities you see between your homes in this book.